When the Polestar 3 first arrived, it was one of the best-looking and best-built electric SUVs you could buy. The design was clean and confident, the cabin felt genuinely premium, and yet it never quite broke through the way Polestar had hoped. Two things held it back. It charged slower than rivals that already used newer technology, and it was expensive even by the standards of the premium electric class. For 2026, Polestar went back and fixed exactly those two things, and that makes this update far more significant than the modest badge change would suggest. From the outside, the changes are deliberately subtle because the original design barely needed touching. The Polestar 3 still looks like nothing else on the road, with its low, wide stance, the split headlights, and that distinctive aero blade over the hood that channels air across the body. There is a Scandinavian restraint to it, a sense that every line is there for a reason, and nothing is added just for show. It is a big SUV, close to 5 meters long, but the proportions are so well judged that it never looks bulky or heavy. On the show floor, it carries the kind of quiet, expensive presence you usually only get from established luxury brands, which is exactly the company Polestar is trying to keep. Inside, that same premium feel continues. The cabin is minimalist and beautifully finished, built around a large portrait touchscreen running Polestar's Google-based system, with materials, seats, and an optional Bowers Wilkins sound system that genuinely match cars costing considerably more. Rear seat space is generous. The panoramic roof makes the whole cabin feel airy, and it is clearly a space designed by people who care about how it feels to spend time in. The flip side, and we will come back to this, is that almost everything is controlled through that central screen. There are very few physical buttons, and that is a deliberate choice that not every driver is going to love, especially on the move. Practicality is strong for a car shaped like this. There is a generous main boot for the family gear, with the rear seats folding to open up even more, plus a small front trunk under the hood that is just the right size for stashing the charging cables out of the way. It is not the absolute largest load space in the class, but it is more than enough for the long, comfortable trips this car is built to make. If breakdowns like this help you decide which electric SUV is actually worth it, subscribe so you catch the next one. Under the skin is where the real 2026 story lives. The biggest single change is a switch to an 800-volt electrical architecture, the technology that enables the fastest charging on the market. It means the Polestar 3 can now top up at speeds approaching 350 kilowatts, which turns what used to be one of its clear weaknesses into a genuine strength, cutting a long motorway top-up down to little more than a coffee break. Power is up across the range too. The single-motor rear-wheel drive version makes around 329 horsepower, the dual-motor jumps to roughly 536, and the performance version pushes all the way to 671 horsepower, enough to launch a 2.5-ton SUV to 60 miles per hour in well under 5 seconds. All of them draw from a large 111 kilowatt-hour battery, with a range that stretches up to around 390 miles on the European cycle. Now to the honest catch. Even with the price brought down for 2026, the Polestar 3 is still a genuinely expensive car, and it is a heavy one, weighing well over 2.5 tons. And that screen-led interior means you will be reaching for the touchscreen to adjust things that other cars still give you a physical button for, which can be distracting while driving, but none of it is a deal-breaker. The weight is cleverly disguised by the air suspension. The new lower price makes the whole package far more competitive than before, and the Google built-in voice control quietly handles a lot of what those missing buttons used to. Taken together, the 2026 Polestar 3 is a case study in fixing what actually mattered. Polestar did not waste its effort on a flashy redesign that nobody asked for. It went straight at the charging speed and the price, the two things that genuinely held a beautiful car back. The result is an electric SUV that was always lovely to look at and sit in, and is now far easier to recommend to anyone cross-shopping the established luxury names. For a brand still fighting to prove it belongs in that company, this kind of quiet, targeted improvement might be exactly